back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 6 tips for round 6 of the NRL for 2022. So it's the Easter weekend, so basically the round that contains and involves Easter, basically Easter weekend, like I said. And I think this week's in general is going to be a good round coming up. I think we've got a lot of good games that can go either way, and some games that look pretty competitive coming up. Looking for the draw quickly as well. I think games like Raiders, Cowboys is very unpredictable, can go either way. Sharks and Storm could be game of the round. That'd be actually fantastic. Hines and Finucane against their old clubs, Melbourne. Got the traditional Good Friday match, Rabbitohs, Bulldogs, and you got a very interesting game between the Roosters and the Warriors, which both teams are in this exact same similar form. So yeah, look, I think it'll be a good weekend coming up. I really do think it will be a good week of footy coming up. But before I start, only about a sub or 2 subs away from 1,700 subscribers. So obviously getting very close to that mark of 1,700. That's where I want to reach by the end of the week at least. So hopefully I get to that goal by whenever, hopefully at some point this week. But yeah, there's been a lot of new support lately as well every week, so I really do appreciate the new support. It means a lot for me and the channel. So if you haven't already, I would encourage and hope you can subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated if you can. But anyway, time to get into my round 6 tips. So going to the first game right now, it is the first one, round 6, Cowboys and the Raiders at GIO Stadium. So kicking off round 6, it is the Raiders and the Cowboys at GIO Stadium in Canberra. So looking at the Raiders team quickly, Xavier Savage has been added to the team, so it's good to see Savage play his first game of 2022 in the NRL. And yeah, he joins the bench in jersey 14, and Matt Foley drops out. Matt Timoko has been named in the centres despite copying a minor knee injury. And Jared Croker is in the reserve, so if Timoko fails to get any fitness before the game starts with his knee, Croker will come in and play. As for Cowboys, Cohen Hess returns from a shoulder injury at prop. Ruben Cotter goes back to the bench. Cornelia Lumilu joins the bench as well. And Jermaine Tunua-Brown and Griffin Neame will both miss the match because of concussion protocols. Yeah, all right. This is not easy to tip. Like I said at the start of the video, it's a very unpredictable game. Can go either way. But looking at both teams, I know, just thinking about, it's in Canberra. Yeah, look, I don't know. I think I'm going to tip the Raiders here. I'm going to take the Canberra here. I think because it's back at home, and I think Canberra have been a lot better at home than what they've been away from the field, like being away from their home ground. They're usually pretty good at Canberra, actually, and so far that's where most of their wins, or all the wins, have come from, is in Canberra, I think. So yeah, I'll tip Canberra by about 4. It'll be a very close game, I think. Now we move on to Good Friday, and the Good Friday is always a good day of footy. Obviously I'm not going to really celebrate it too much, but we'll probably do something, I think. But yeah, Souths and Bulldogs and Broncos and the Panthers are the 2 games on the Good Friday. So looking at South's team against the Bulldogs, Blake Taaffe plays fullback because Latron Mitchell did his hamstring against the Dragons, so he'll be out for an extended period of time. And Hame Sele joins the bench on the bench for the Souths. Look at the Bulldogs team; they've got no changes from what it looks like. Kyle Flanagan keeps his spot at halfback, which is good. I believe he should keep his spot there. I think he's done enough to hold it for now, so that's good. Yeah, that's the only changes really. So yeah, look, this is an interesting game because usually the Dogs do turn up against Souths. They usually do play often well, and they usually do compete with a team like Souths. But majority of the time, the Souths won most recent performances against the Bulldogs. But yeah, in this game, I think I am going to tip Souths, but play it safe. I was thinking about Bulldogs during the day. Should I tip them? They're due for a win, etc. But no, look, I think Souths will be a bit too good. They should have enough quality, enough points to win at the end of the day. So I'll tip Souths by about 12 points. Might be a 13+ for the game, but I think it'll be by enough for Souths to win. Now, the second game on the Good Friday, it is the Broncos and the Panthers at Bluebet Stadium up in Penrith. So yeah, no, this is it could either go one-way traffic, or it can either be a competitive game with the team that's unlikely to win to turn up and put something on at least. So looking at both Panthers and Broncos sides now, so looking at Penrith's team, they have got no changes after their good win last week against the Bulldogs. And yeah, they look to go 6-0 to start the season. As for Broncos, Payne Haas Payne Haas is named to play, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, he's out. All right. No, I thought he was playing for some reason, but he's out. He's suspended for Albert Kelly, but it doesn't matter about Albert Kelly anyway. He's injured. So, yeah, Haas is out. There's a big blow for Brisbane. And Corey Jensen starts the prop, I think, and Reece Kennedy joins the bench. And Corey Oates' ankle, Adam Reynolds' knee will named to play, but they will be monitored during the week. So we'll see how fit they are on Friday. But going for my tip now, I think it's pretty obvious who I'm going to tip. I think I'll tip the Panthers win 13 plus by about 20 points. I hope Broncos turn up and sort of put on a bit of a show because, you know, they did sort of turn up against Roosters last week. They did sort of turn up and they actually were competitive, and that was good. That was good to see from the Broncos. You know, I expect Broncos to be a bit more competitive this year based on some of the players and the team they do have. It has potential, but the way Penrith are going as of now, I think it's too hard to stop their momentum. So Penrith should win it fairly well on Friday. Right, it's the Super Saturday. We kick off now with only 2 games because Easter Monday, Eels and the Tigers. So that's obviously going to sort of change the Saturday and Sunday fixtures a bit up. But yeah, it's my boys Manly up against the Titans at 4 Points Park at Manly. I just want to say I will be at this game. I'll be in attendance to watch Manly play against the Titans. So I'll be there. Let me know you're going. If anyone's watching this video is going as well, just let me know. And but yeah, no, it should be good. First time watching the boys since April last year. So yeah, no, it should be good. So getting through Manly's team now and the Titans. So Tolutau Kula starts in the centres in place of Morgan Harper because Harper has COVID, so that's why he's ruled out. So yeah, Kula comes in the centres, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, other than that, no changes for the Manly side. As for Titans, Brian Kelly returns to the centres with Philip Sammy shifting out to the wing, and Corey Thompson drops out, and Sam Lasoni replaces or displaces Kevin Proctor on the bench, and Jane Campbell is still 1 week away from making a return from a rib injury. All right, my tip for this game, well, since I'm there, they better win. They better bloody win if I'm there. But no, look, I think we should, either way, we should win. I think back at home, you know, we usually play well at home. I think it should be a good crowd on a Saturday. I think Easter Saturday should be good. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to being there, and hopefully we go with 4 straight wins because we've already won 3 in a row. Let's expand it to 4, shall we? So hopefully. But yeah, no, I've got Manly to win 13 plus. I've got Manly to win by about 14, and yeah, I think we'll get the job done on Super Saturday. Now, this is arguably game of the round, like I said, and I think it is. Just looking at, you know, the hype and just who's playing who. You know, basically Nico Hines and Dale Finucane against their former clubs, and you know, Sharks are in very good form. Sharks are obviously the dark horse of the competition as of right now. Currently sits in second place. Sorry, and Melbourne, they're just on a roll as well, and they're, you know, the benchmark of the comp basically, and you know, this will be a very good game. You know, this will be a very good match. I think it'll be very tight, and looking forward to seeing how the Sharks go. And let's see if the Sharks really are a contender based on what we've seen. And Melbourne is a good test for them. Getting through the Storms team, firstly, Tyron Wishart returns for his 3rd NRL game on the bench with Alec McDonald dropping out the side on the bench. And as for the Sharks, Aiden Tolman returns to the bench after missing last week's game due to COVID, and he will replace Royce Hunt on the bench as the only change for the Sharks. Yeah, so my tip for this game, look, I will tip Melbourne because it's in Melbourne. You know, I think that's fair. Storm, which are always hard to beat in Melbourne, they usually get a win most of the time, 99% of the time, even though they lost to Parramatta there this year. But I think Sharks have a chance of causing an upset. You know, I was thinking about the Sharks having an upset. I was just thinking about it, but no, I'll play it safe and tip Melbourne. So I think Melbourne will win by about 6 points. I think it'll go down to the wire, but the Storm will win by a nice 4-point try and a, you know, conversion kick. So yeah, I think Storm will be a bit too good for the Sharks. Now we move on to Sunday, Easter Sunday. So yeah, it's the Roosters and the Warriors at the SCG Sydney Cricket Ground. Home of the Roosters, obviously, as we probably all know of anyway. But no, yeah, look, this will be an interesting game as well. But like I said, both teams are in similar form. Both have 3 wins and 2 losses. So it will be interesting to see what way this goes. Game for the Roosters team. So Takaaho is named to return after missing last week's game with a calf injury. Sam Verrills is back for the Roosters set to play his first game this year. So, yeah, he goes off the bench, I think. Off the bench, is he? No, he starts a hooker and Connor Watson remains as jersey 14. Sorry, I got that wrong there. And yeah, Fletcher Baker keeps his spot in the 17 with Drew Hutchinson and Daniel Sluka for fair both dropping out to the reserves. And look at the Warriors team. Jack Murchie is out, replaced by Elias Katoa. And other than that, there's no changes apart from one more actually. Wladimir Lesniak comes on the wing for Marcelo Montoya. So DW's back from a hand injury, I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah. So looking at both sides, I think Roosters will be a bit too good and a bit too strong for the Warriors at home. You know, look, Roosters are always having a big advantage at home, obviously, and I think they'll be a bit too good for the Warriors. Look, I like how Warriors have been playing us off recently, won 3 straight games, and they're on a real roll, actually. So it's good to see them sort of on the up, but I think Roosters will kind of end that streak and will be a bit too good on Sunday. So I'll tip Roosters by about 16 points. Now, the second to last game of the Sunday, it is the Dragons and the Knights at Winter Stadium in Wollongong. So it's the first time these two sides have played at Winter Stadium since 2011, I found out today. And yeah, Knights haven't won at Wollongong in ages. It's a very unhappy hunting ground for them. So, getting through the Dragons team, Josh Maguire and Tyrell Fuimaano both returned from their long suspensions that they suffered in the preseason trials. So they're back on the bench, and they replace who do they replace? I think they replace it doesn't say, but I think Jakubczewski and Woods. Well, Woods is out with an injury, I'm pretty sure, or I don't know what's happened there, but yeah, that's anyway. They're in Fuimaano and Maguire. Josh Kurt earns a promotion in the starting side, and George Burgess comes in for Jackson Ford, and yeah, that's the only changes really there for the Dragons. Onto the Knights team. David Clemmer returns from a knee injury, makes an early return, so he starts for the Knights. His return also happens for Jacob Saifidi. Well, his return for Clemmer happens, but Saifidi returns at the same time. Jacob Saifidi returns to the bench, and that's because Jariah Momoisia is out with an elbow, so that's where he replaces him on the bench. And after 18 months, as we know, I'm sure we all know who he is, Edric Lee. It's his first NRL game since 2020, so that's great. That's great to see Edric Lee back in the game. I think he'll do well, hopefully, because he is a good player on his day, Edric Lee. So hopefully, it's a successful return to first grade for him. So he starts in the wing, and he replaces Dominic Young to a knee injury. Well, this is another unpredictable game. It can go either way, literally, and I don't know who to really lean with. But looking at both sides, you know what? I think Newcastle are going to win. I think Knights will win. I'm going to tip Newcastle here. I think Dragons have been very disappointing the past couple of weeks. I know they're back at Winter Stadium. I know they want to try and win in front of their home fans, but I think Newcastle have been in slightly better form, and I think Newcastle will just turn up. I think Ponga's going to have a big game. I think Lee will score a try, actually, in his return, and yeah, I think Knights had the upper hand here, in my opinion, so I'll tip Knights by about 8 points on Sunday. And now getting on to the last game around 6, it is the Eels and the Tigers at Combank Stadium in Parramatta. So yeah, as we know, it's every Easter Monday, every year we have Eels and Tigers as that fixture on the Monday for Easter Monday. Yeah, so it's traditional. Looking at Parramatta's team, got a lot of changes because of injuries, unfortunately. So Wagga Blake's out for an extended period. So Marania Kora comes in the centres, and Will Penasini shifts out to the wing. Junior Pulo has accepted a one-match ban, which is bullshit, of course. So he will be out, and Orican Kafusi replaces him in the starting front row. Sean Lane hamstring returns, pushing Ryan Madison to the bench. Bryce Cartwright goes to the reserves as a Jersey 18, which is interesting. And Mitch Ryan keeps his spot on the bench. As for Tigers, they made a host of changes as well. Dane Laurie's returning from COVID. Stafford Toa replaces Kevin Marlowe, who's been dropped for some reason. Jackson Hastings returns from suspension, and he starts at halfback with Luke Brooks at 5'8", which might work better, actually, because less pressure off Luke Brooks, and Hastings is more of a game controller, in my opinion, from what we've seen over the Super League, or what I've seen, and others probably have as well seen that he's a controlling player who likes to direct the team, so that might work well, actually. Jock Madden goes to the bench. James Roberts is also back and replaces Oliver Gilda in the centres, and yeah, Jake Simpson comes in a hooker. But look, despite all those changes from the Tigers, I get Tigers want to try and get some results for once, and they want to try and avoid going 0-6. But unfortunately, nothing's going to convince me that the Tigers are going to win. I think Parramatta will run away with it easily, and they should win by 13 plus. So I think Parramatta will win by about 26 points. And yeah, they'll be way too good for the Tigers, unfortunately. So Parramatta to win. But guys, that brings an end to my round 6 tips, Easter weekend tips. So thanks for watching. Make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and see you all on the very next one.